much more reflection here at Anfield. That is the Premier League weekend done. That was begun with the draw on Friday between Brighton and Southampton. Then that big win for Brentford on Saturday. Forest back to winning ways. Bournemouth winning at Wolves. And the five-star show from Arsenal at West Ham. Earlier on today, Villa, without a win in 8 games now in all competitions under Unai Emery, beaten 3-0 at Chelsea. Manchester United, Ruben Amorim's first home league game in charge, beating Everton 4-0. And Fulham coming back to get a point at Spurs 1-1. And we've just watched Liverpool beat Manchester City here at Anfield by 2-0. And this is what it does to the top of the table. Liverpool 11 clear of Manchester City, 9 clear of Arsenal and Chelsea. And reminder, at this stage of a Premier League season, that is only the second time that has happened. City in 5th, out of the top 4, 7 without a win in all competitions. Manchester United have moved within 4 of those Champions League places and up to 9th.
Well played, huge result. Mo, it just felt like from minute 1 today, you just smelt blood.
Yeah, it's crazy that the fans were behind us from the first minute. And I'm glad we managed to win the game. We know City is going to come, try to win the game here, but we managed to play a good game and win the game.
Virgil, years and years of going up against this relentless machine, and to be fair, sometimes getting the better of them. But today, did you sense there was a vulnerability there?
After the game, it's always easy to say these things. I think City is a fantastic team, 4 times champions in a row, and they have quality to punish any team. I think we were very solid defensively. Offensively, we did our part as well. We created good chances and could have scored more. So overall, it's been a great day, and now we recover and be ready for another game on Wednesday.
Yeah, I was watching you actually when you went for the coin toss, and they turned you round, so you were shooting it into the cop. First half, you look really annoyed about that. Actually, did it end up working for you?
I was annoyed by the fact that he started the toss without me even acknowledging. I was obviously busy with my mascot Isaac, and obviously took a little bit of time. But he started the coin toss already quite quickly, so I was a little bit annoyed by that because I think just wait and. But anyway, good game. We won, and we move on.
Mo, talk us through that first goal. Hell of a ball for Cody.
Yeah, I'm a good player, so no, I think we train well to be in. Always, if you have the ball, the other side has to be in the second post. So I told Cody before the game, every time I have the ball, and if the chance for me to play the ball to you, I will play it for sure. So I give him a few balls this season, him and Lucho as well. So we train that ball in training. We managed to do it in the game. It's great.
How special are days like this? Mo, how special is Anfield when it's like this?
It's very special. I said before, I don't take it for granted. I'm enjoying every minute here. It feels like home. So yeah, it's a special feeling always scoring Anfield and win games. Yeah,
even more so at the moment. You've been fairly vocal about your own sort of future and situation. Do you enjoy it more because maybe it's, you know, there's not maybe another City home game left?
Of course. Honestly, that's what's in my head. Like, this is probably until now the last City game I play for Liverpool, so I'm just gonna enjoy it. The atmosphere was incredible, so I'm enjoying every second here, and hopefully we just win the league and see what will happen.
Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you, but what I will ask you: 11 points to City, 9 points to second. How significant is that?
Listen, we focus on the next one. That's the only thing we can do, and that's.
You don't talk about it at all.
No, I don't, of course not. There's no point in this stage of the season to get ahead of ourselves. Obviously, everyone wants to be in a position where they, in this case, 11 points in front of the opponent today. But so many twists and turns. Now we have some injuries as well to our team, unfortunately, and we have to deal with that as well. And you know, it's game by game, and stay calm. But games like this, and when you win it like this, it's always a good feeling. And now we're back to recovery and be ready for a very tough on the way.
Okay. So there was a big debate about player of the match between yourself and the man next to you.
Okay, we'll give it to him. Then.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
I had a few, so you can give it.
Oh yeah. So who picked him?
Gary Neville.
Okay, well done.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm surprised that Cara didn't give it to you, but.
Oh, I wouldn't. Never. I wouldn't give it to me.
Right,
here we go. We're on Pundit Watch here. Pundits being analysed by players.
Listen to any of that.
Okay. Well done. Well done.
Jamie.
I'll see him in the car park.
Stood next to Roy. Twins, just waiting.
I don't know what they're talking about, Roy. That's unfair. We will come to the contract. There's an awful lot for us to talk about here this evening, but let's start with the significance of this. What do you think?
Huge. Huge. See the reaction of the players, and obviously they've got to play it down a little bit, but huge. Huge result, great performance. City obviously look way off it. I know there's lots of stats we look at after the game, but we're watching it live here, and Liverpool were so well ahead of them. Defensively, rock solid. Energy, pace, power. They should have scored a lot more goals. They had a real desire then to keep a clean sheet at the end. Outstanding Liverpool performance. I thought they mixed their game up really well, particularly the first half. When to play, when to go long. They turned up basically, particularly their big players. We saw two of them there. I thought the two players were outstanding.
Given the level of the quality of the opposition, Daniel, the history of this fixture as well and what was at stake, how close were Liverpool to almost perfection with that performance?
Very close. I mean, they controlled the game for the most part, really, in terms of, not conceding too many chances. The first half, City didn't really do much, to be honest. And then, of course, Doku comes on, does a little bit. But besides that, Liverpool had full control of the game. They were threatening, runs in behind, tenacious attitude. They looked like they wanted it. And there was that feeling in the stands when you hear the fans roaring. And when City, had moments, Liverpool's fans were like, let's, get right behind the boys again. And the players and how the manager set them up today as well, I think, was magnificent. He had the midfielders pressing all over the pitch. They set the intensity for the team. All round fantastic performance from the players, and it was really professional performance as well, because you can let it get out of hand, and they didn't let that happen.
I think you expected a reaction from City, didn't you? I don't remember seeing Pep Guardiola reacting quite like that before, as he did to Liverpool fans singing about him being sacked in the morning.
No, obviously he's going to be annoyed. We've talked about Pep since he come to the club. Obviously his first season was difficult, was nowhere near winning the league, and then he started building that momentum. And what City have done over the last couple of years has been staggering. We did the game last week at Spurs, and he asked me, is it a crisis? I said, no, it's not a crisis, because, you go into the Champions League game and you think, OK, 3-0 up, and then it's free. And now you come to Liverpool. And it's not just the fact that anyone can come to Liverpool. At Anfield, great stadium, fans were exciting, and it was like a fortress at times. But it's the way they got beat is, for me, I've not seen for a while with this City team. You can talk about the defence, you can talk about midfield, you can talk about attack. It's the collective. If you look at the difference between Liverpool and Man City, they was all together. At times, Man City, there was just disjointed. Didn't sort of know what they was going to do. They sort of put Rico Lewis on the right. Obviously, we've seen him in midfield, and he's a right back by trade. You got Mateus Nunes on the left as well. So they got into these good opportunities, but they couldn't do anything with it. It just feels like everything is a yard off.
So does it seal in your mind? You were talking before the game about if they lose, potentially, possibly, maybe, that means they're out of the title race?
No, I think if you're looking at the stats, if you're looking at the game, and you're analysing the game, it's bleak at this time too. I'm not going to rule them out completely, because football is like that, but I can't see him catching Liverpool at this.
I think it is almost a mini crisis for Manchester City, and I think it's reminiscent of Liverpool 2 years ago. And I actually think Man City might have a fight on their hands for top four. I actually look at Arsenal and Chelsea and the way they're looking right now. I think it'd be difficult for Man City to finish above them if they don't go into the market in January. And I go back a couple of years, the season Man City won the treble. Liverpool went to the Etihad, I think, in about April and got beat 4-1. And it could have been 6 or 7, got absolutely battered. And you felt like it was almost the end of that Jurgen Klopp team. But what it was the end of the midfield. This was Henderson and Fabinho at the time. And no matter how good a manager you are, you can't fix that. I don't think Pep can fix that in terms of midfield. Now, this has been going on for 4 or 5 games. He needs to buy players in there. Now, if he can do it in January, who knows, but may need to wait till the end of the season to fix this, because right now I could see Man City maybe losing another 4 or 5 games between the end of the season. And I look at the energy Arsenal have got and the energy sort of the young players Chelsea have got. I think it might be difficult for City to finish above either of them.
The midfield
They enjoyed it. That's the screenshot for Liverpool fans all around the world tonight, beating Manchester City by 2-0. We'll talk about that atmosphere, which we were very privileged to experience today in a moment. But just to pick up on what Mo Salah was saying there, on the back of what he said at Southampton last week that we were discussing on the Final Word show, he said that probably my last game for Liverpool here against Manchester City. Is this the game of chess continuing?
Well, there's obviously been no conversation since he last came out and dropped the bomb type of thing, has he? So, yeah, it was an interesting thing to say in an interview, of course. But, you know, what's the alternative? I suppose you say no comment and things like that. That's how he feels at the moment. He said the same, you know, a week or so ago. I'm more out than in, was his quote last week. And that's where things are at the moment. I'm sure there will be further negotiation. There's a long time between now and the end of the season. The crowd absolutely adore him. The club adore him. He adores the club. He's just one of the most incredible players with great success, playing in a team that are, you know, on top of the world at the moment. I still believe, I can't bring myself to think that he won't be here last season. But obviously with comments like that, it does make you wonder.
Where are you with this, Cola?
He just said probably. That means there's a probability for him to stay, which I think is good for Liverpool. Of course, he's a fantastic player, and definitely if he goes, they will miss him because he's a goal scorer. He's a guy who can create goal. He's a guy who helped the team when they are in tough moment, like the penalty he scored today. And but we know in the game that sometimes players at that age, they sometimes go for the bigger money, I will say. And but we hope that he stay in the Premier League, of course.
The one thing that I think, if you're wanting to go, if you're thinking of going, you try to avoid it. You don't really want to speak about it. You almost let the days and games tick away. And I think that's what it almost. It's not a cry to, you know, an appeal or anything, but I do think just the way he's speaking about it, he's almost putting Liverpool, the football club's hand to the fire in a way, and saying, you know, I'm telling you now, I'm telling the whole world, what are you going to do about it? The crowd are now won't be too happy. Liverpool supporters around the world won't be too happy if the club.
And he
aren't
knows people like
contract.
us will then be discussing it.
Exactly. But if he didn't want to stay, he wouldn't want to be. Why would he be saying that? Why would he be saying, you know, they haven't spoken to me and things like that? So I think there's still a little bit of water under the bridge to go on this one.
Look, he's a top player, but he's a good businessman as well. He really is a good businessman. And this is a business, right? Okay? Loves the place. Place is singing his name. He absolutely adores it here. Why not? He's got in such a position of strength right now. And he's only telling the truth, right? He's only telling the truth. He can't give us anything other than the truth. It's just quite hard to hear and quite interesting to hear because it's so dramatic. But he's only telling the truth. Incredible player, very good businessman.
Well, City, we hope he's not here because he scored more goals against City than any other player. That was number 12 today.
Yeah, I thought he was excellent today. I'd love to be a forward player because the hard work that went on in that team, that Liverpool team today, turning the ball over that first 15 minutes. Szoboszlai, incredible. Mo Salah chipped in behind. Great ball into Gakpo and then getting to score the penalty at the end. All the headlines are about him, but that was such a good team performance by Liverpool.
Might their only complaint be that they're only 1-0 up?
Absolutely. Men against boys for the first half an hour, Steve. I mean, Man City have come into it slightly in the second part of that half, but Liverpool have absolutely battered them. It could easily be 2 or 3, no question about it.
What a start, and you've noticed it all came from Trent Alexander-Arnold in the centre of the pitch.
It is, yeah. I mean, Trent in a familiar position in many ways, but he is playing right back today, so he's ended up there after a corner. But this area, Mo Salah knocking it into the space, has been an area that Liverpool have tried a few times today. As you see, we pick up Trent there. No Manchester City player anywhere near him, and he just hits the space, and obviously Mo Salah's up and running. Walker at the top of the picture. He should have this under control. There's plenty of bodies in the box for Manchester City, but he doesn't. He sleeps, and Cody Gakpo goes in at the back post. Or taking a little touch on this, you know, just a little touch. It doesn't put Gakpo off, and he just bundles it into the net. Nothing more than Liverpool deserve.
And given City's current predicament, Joe, the worst possible start for the champions.
Yeah, look, it was a tough start. They'd a bit, like you said, they were happy for it to be won. I thought Liverpool came flying out. That can happen here, first 10, 15 minutes. Sometimes it doesn't matter how good a team you are, you have to get yourself through it. Ortega actually made a fantastic save before the goal. Probably thought he'd done enough, but Trent Alexander-Arnold popping up in that position. Incredible ball over the top. Mo Salah, devastating. As soon as he could face Aki up, great ball in. Gakpo was there, right minute, right man at right time.
We know how Virgil van Dijk is in the air as a centre-half. Colo, we've seen him twice. I mean, will he be disappointed he's not scored?
Yeah, absolutely. Great chance for him. I think his leap is great here. His contact is really good. And I think the goalkeeper made a great save here because I can see that he touched the ball there. Okay, that made the difference.
Yeah, Joe called that straight away at the time, actually, didn't you?
I could tell by the movement. I could tell by the way he reacted, and I was still in awe of the save. Liverpool do look a threat as well, don't they? Van Dijk looks really strong in there. Some good balls in.
That's the chance, isn't it? That's the one he should score.
Absolutely, I think he should score this one. But if you see the change of direction he did twice to take the defender out, was fantastic.
And this was Trent Alexander-Arnold, Michael. He actually clipped the post as well, we noticed.
This
here.
did. It's a lovely first touch. Gets it onto his strong foot, gives him plenty of time to get the shot away as well. A couple of shots from long distance today. You see that just skims the post. Sabotsalai's brought the best out of Ortega as well. Trent's had another shot that's been blocked. It's been one-way traffic. And I'm sat here watching thinking, how do you stop this? How do you stop it? Liverpool are so good. I mean, I don't know what Pep Guardiola's going to say to his men, but they've just got to weather the storm and hope that they can build into the game second half.
What might be the conversation if you're in the City dressing room right now?
Keep calm. I think you've got to understand that the situation that you're in, I think looking like they're going to make changes. We're sat right next to the bench. We're in a really privileged position. We saw Guardiola talking about Doku, talking about Jack Grealish. Someone needs to get a foot on the ball. I'm seeing Szoboszlai walking around doing whatever he wants on this Anfield pitch. He looks a really, really good player. I'm not seeing enough Man City players get control of that football.
They've almost got to be as brave as they've ever been today, Steve, in this second half, taking the ball, because they've got no other way of playing. They've got to be able to hold the ball, pass the ball, keep the ball. They're going to get steamrolled.
Wow, this is going to be huge.
A 1-0 Liverpool lead could have been a lot more, in truth, for Manchester City at half-time. Jamie Carragher's joined us. How did Liverpool set the tone early on?
By playing Jurgen Klopp type of football, and that's one of the reasons why this manager was brought into the club, because there was elements of his style of football was very reminiscent of Jurgen Klopp, and this is exactly what we've seen in this opening 45 minutes. I've never seen a Liverpool dominate a Manchester City team or a Pep Guardiola team like this before. I mean, the fact it's still only 1-0 is an absolute miracle for Manchester City.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Cara. I mean, they're just disjointed. They don't seem to know where to press. Liverpool are doing exactly what they need to do tactically, the way they're pressing here. And Man City just couldn't get out in the first opportunities in the game. Everything just looks like they are massively low on confidence. And it could have been 3 or 4 in that first half.
It certainly felt, Daniel, the goal was coming, didn't it?
Yeah, for sure. They were knocking on the door, no one was answering. But then you see this pass. This is a world-class pass, first and foremost. To put it in an area like that with the right drive. And then you see Mo, he's biding his time. And this is absolutely ridiculous. To be able to squeeze the ball, the timing of it perfect, the weight of it perfect. And I think in positions like this, certain wingers, they're just trying to put it in an area. They're not really thinking about who they're going for. You see him, he's analysing, he's looking up, he's waiting. Times it perfectly, and Cody Gakpo's thinking, please, Lord, just let this hit the right body part. Keeps his head up, but look at this. Analyse the eyes, he's waiting. And the timing of that, it's inches from the keeper.
World class.
Give him what he wants.
We've not got time now, but we have to analyse Kyle Walker's positioning as well. It's ridiculous.
It's got nothing to do with your pace, that. You've got to be more switched
He's
on.
got to get in
So
early
1-0,
goals.
and a couple of big moments that Virgil van Dijk would have expected to probably do better from as well.
Yeah, certainly. There's some good opportunities, good delivery, and I think if you look at it, the keeper does get a touch in this. This is a world-class save. Absolutely brilliant. Van Dijk's been a danger. We know it, how aggressive he is, and I think he gets a touch. Certainly makes the difference, but it was a difficult chance. I think this is a better chance. I think this is the one he'd be really disappointed. He sees it all the way, gets a clear header. But 6 yards out, look at him, timed it well, a little bit of movement. Has to do better. That's huge opportunity.
So, in truth, it could be an awful lot worse for Manchester City.
Casi a producto nuevo por semana, producto bonito que, por supuesto, pues siempre invitamos a la gente a que consuma. Si queréis encontrarlo en kingsleague.pro, pues ahí tenéis las nuevas chaquetas training y también esas camisetas especiales con detalles dorados que llevan todos los equipos.
Oye, ustedes tendrán más memoria que yo, pero ¿cuánto quedaron la última vez que se enfrentaron ellos? 3-4 ganó 1K.
3-4.
En el histórico de estos dos equipos, el que gane desempata, porque han ganado 2. El X Buyer Team ha ganado 2. 1.
Becker se lleva el rebote. Becker para marcar. Becker. El rechazo de Arnalot. ¡Gol!
¡Vamos! ¡Vamos!
¡Qué suerte!
Mascarra en el Cooper Arena. Gol de Pablo Becker. Toro físicamente.
No será capaz,
Roger.
¿no? ¡No será capaz! ¡Qué cabrón!
A ver
Si
si salen
sacan
dos.
más de 3, se quedan sin trabajo. Mira,
¡Hombre!
muy bien.
Dos,
¿Cómo
bien.
valoran el trabajo? Bien.
Ahí está ese ataque por parte del X Buyer Team. El toque dentro de Becker. Puede marcar Carbó. ¡Gol! ¡Gol! Pablo Becker. Becker que quiere poner el centro por delante. Finalmente lo pone por detrás del defensor. Carbó la pisa. Carbó.
No jodas.
competición!
¡Por es el Corona de Oro! Sina la juega atrás, no se decidió a tirar. Granero busca su perfil, Granero.
Golazo.
¡Gol! ¡De 1K! Marca Granero. Y sí, otra vez lo ha vuelto a hacer. Buller, mira, no,
gol doble.
Gol doble, claro, porque tiene sanción. Ah, claro, vale.
Sanción, efectivamente. Grande. Claro que sí. Bueno, sinceridad ante todo. Ahí está. Juanma el toque. ¡Gol!
Vale.
¡Velilla! ¡Gol! Balón que lleva ahí Pluvins el disparo. ¡Gol!
Vale.
¡Gol!
Me gusta.
Está haciendo un buen trabajo defensivo, ojo.
¡Granero!
¡Qué golazo!
¡Qué chicharro de Mar Granero! ¡Qué barbaridad! El recorte de zurda y el disparo con la derecha. Que la metió en la escuadra. Ojo ahora que ataca el X Buyer Team. ¡Gol! Va a pegar Fuad en la falta.
Santa madre de Dios. Sí,
Vamos a ver
total.
ahí esa pelota dentro del área para Juanma que lo puede matar. ¡Gol!
2 de Juan.
Sí, no podía ser otro que Roger Carbó. No sé si te imaginabas que tu vuelta iba a ser de esta manera.
Pues la verdad que no, o sea, ha sido la vuelta ideal. Hat-trick, partido de octavos y mañana jugamos cuartos, o sea, ha sido ideal. Aunque el trabajo no, o sea, me lo llevo yo, pero el trabajo es de todos. Hemos trabajado mucho y al final los resultados se han visto reflejados en el campo. Así que muy contento.
Parecía o puede parecer que sois el rival más débil por todas las bajas, pero en los pasillos se comenta que nadie quiere enfrentarse a vosotros.
Bueno, a ver, yo escuché una persona que dijo de Gigantes que quería enfrentarse a nosotros. Así que mañana a las 9 no te preocupes, que estaremos aquí con muchas ganas. Y más después de esas declaraciones. ¿Sabes por quién voy?
Yo no lo sé quién es.
No lo voy a decir, esta persona lo sabe.
Bueno, pues enhorabuena.
Muchas gracias.